Welcome to the Iron Breed Podcast. My name is Austin, and here again with me today, Gerard.
What's going on, everyone? Feels like a minute since we did this, but we just had a lot of episodes ready for y'all.
Yeah, no, it literally has been a hot minute. We recorded 6 straight episodes, so at this point we just mass out in bulk quantities and yeah.
I know me and Austin been busy living some busy lives right now, but it's good, man. It's good. We've been taking care of a lot of stuff, kind of in the background that
It's
maybe
actually,
not a lot of people know about.
no, for sure, and I think that's what sets us up for today's Mindset Monday because we've been busy putting shit together and taking care of shit that needs to be done. And I guess I'm looking at it as I'm doing the things that I responsibly should be doing and probably should have been doing before. And now I'm taking the time to do them. And Gerard is working his ass off on a daily basis and studying like crazy to make us all proud out here. Not to make us make himself proud.
Hey, I try, I try.
He's going to be the best real estate agent in all of Arizona. You heard it here.
Everyone come to Phoenix. I'll get you a house, and it's amazing out here. It was 108 today, but I still got to work out in. So
It's amazing. Everything. I've been there once. It was fantastic. Actually, I've been there a couple times, but it is fantastic. It also is really cheap too. So like if you're like looking for some nice real estate, Arizona is where it's at. Scottsdale probably.
oh no, that's so expensive.
Well, I know everybody has real grass because they can afford to pay their water bill.
Seriously, man, their water bill crazy. I'm learning in this book too. We don't even have any water. We got like 4 years of water, and I'm like, so we've not run out. And every time we get to that 4 years, we're like, oh, we got another 4 years.
No, that's the status symbol in the desert. It's not how much money you have is determined by whether you can keep grass alive in your yard or not.
That's the truth. If you
Really,
got green grass, you got bread.
that's goals shit.
That is, but this kind of actually ties in perfectly to what we're going to talk about. The grass is not always greener on the other side, and while some people feel just the absolute need to always tell you what you should be doing, what they're doing, what their opinion of what you are doing is, guess what? That might be a lot of noise that you just don't need to hear, and sometimes it's going to come from the closest people around you. So we're going to get into that today for this Mindset Monday, and let's kick it off, Austin. Just talking about like you're doing something, and you're telling people about it, and you expect maybe like whatever someone's going to say, and they come around and they come up in there and they say, "Why are you doing that? You should
Or
be."
you should be doing something else, or you shouldn't be doing that. You should be doing this. And it's like, excuse me?
Like, all right, it's like, here's my life. Why you want to have a hand in it?
Why are you trying to tell me what to do with it? Yeah, that really just, man, that does truly bother me. With that being said, though, generally speaking here, unless those opinions are paying your bills, we got to do better to pay them no mind, because if they're not paying the bills for you, then they're not really worth much in general. Um,
That and sometimes what's the hard part too is an individual might say something out of respect or good intention of what they thought, but not realize that it actually has an adverse effect, or that it really might not be good advice for that individual. What I've gotten told a lot is like, oh, you need to have more fun on the weekends. You need to study less. It's like, well, no, I need to study more because I just took my exam and I didn't do so hot, so I need to study more.
and it really just comes down to, we all have different goals. We all have different outcomes that we want for our lives, and I have a pretty clear vision of what I want my life to be. And I have a pretty clear vision of what it's going to take to get there. And I know that, and I acknowledge that. And I'm willing to pay that price to get there, because to me, getting to that point is worth it. Now, that's not to say that like I can't enjoy the process of getting there. That's half the battle. But at the same time, it's like I don't like hate it. Like I'm like actually pretty happy. Like, is it causing me to be a lot busier than I probably could be or like would potentially like to be? Oh, for sure. Not a doubt. Like, do I wish I probably took more time to chill? For sure. A lot, you know, but like at the same time, it's like I'm doing what I know I need to do to get to where I want to go. And I can chill from comfortably from, you know, the vacation homes that I'll one day own, you know?
So like when we get there and well like that's not to say that you can't have fun, you can't chill, but also someone's expectation of like what chill is like Austin going and walking his dogs, or honestly for me just getting a moment outside when it's not like blazing hot, or just what someone else does as a leisure activity. You don't ever have to compare or measure it to a standard, but that's all we do is compare and measure standards and what we think. So you see people do that on a daily where they tell you they're doing something and you want to interject your opinion. You tell them what you think they need to hear. And it's something that we can all do a better job of just being, mindful of, conscious of, because, you know, none of us know what we're going through on a daily. None of us know what we're thinking on a daily. We're all different humans. We all interact differently. And so that person who's got like their nose to the ground is just working, 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 working. And you come up and you tell them you gotta work less. You're wasting your 20s. You're like you're missing out. And it's like, or maybe I just don't want to live the way you do. Or maybe I have a different expectation or goal. And it's not to say what you're doing is wrong, but it doesn't mean you need to come in, interject your opinion, and devalue what I'm doing in this moment.
Exactly. And the other thing that, you know, I don't think a lot of people think about is nobody really takes in perspective what that person's life was like that has them in a spot where that's what they want to do. Because it's like, guess what? Chances are they're doing it willingly. And maybe some situations they're not. Maybe some situations like they really are trying to support their family and they're doing whatever it takes to make ends meet. Well, then why are you going to devalue somebody doing that? Now, that's I'm not saying that that's like what I'm trying to do right now. My situation is a little bit different. I mean, I got two little fur babies that I'm supporting, but like they're much significantly cheaper than kids. So, you know, it's not like I'm out here like trying to pay off baby mamas and shit. But, you know, I'm just keeping it. Yeah.
Uh,
You know, but it's just one of those things where it's like I'm putting in that work because I want to. I could easily just chill and not do anything on my weekends and not do extra stuff, but like that's not going to help me get where I want to go. And I acknowledge that if I put that work in now, I can get where I'm trying to go in half the time just by sacrificing a little bit more now so that I can do way more in the future.
it's true. We quote Gary V on this podcast often, and I mean, frankly, I think everyone could do some good from listening to that guy. But he said he's worked more in his. It was something along the lines of he's worked more weekends in his 20s than like what an individual as work just in general, because that's what he knew he had to do to get there, and it's the truth. Like, so if it's a goal, if it's something you really really want to do, or even if it is a situation where damn, I'm dog tired, but I need to meet ends meet because I got people who rely on me. Who is anyone to tell you your business or what you should be doing? And here's the thing, here's where you can kind of like meet halfway. All right, they might not be telling you to devalue, negate, say less than what you are doing. They probably are telling you because it's what they think is best, it's what they know is best, and that they care. But that person saying that, meet them in the middle and realize that, hey, that might not be what they need to hear right now. They may not actually need that, because it's funny when we hear someone going through a problem or a situation. It's like, oh, I can solve that. Here's how you should do it. When it's like, no, 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 no. You don't even got a clue what I'm going on through right now. So like, I appreciate your support. I appreciate your help. But if you maybe you're a totally different person, maybe you haven't even gone through this problem, or maybe you think you have, but you're not me. And so it's just what people always fall into. We have this opinions and values and statements and things. We just throw them out like candy, and they're free. Like Austin said earlier, they're free. They
Yeah,
ain't paying you nothing.
it's just one of those things too where we also need to keep in mind that unless someone is specifically asking for your opinion, unless they are truly specifically asking for what are your thoughts, what would you do, you don't need to interject your opinion. If someone is just talking about what they're doing, you don't need to come in and be like, oh, well, this is what you should do. Right? There will be times where people do come to me in situations and they're like, what would you do? I'm like, hey, if this were me, this is what I would do, but I'm not you. So go do whatever the fuck you want because it's your choice. Like, I have clients that I do nutrition consults for, like at my primary job here. And it's like, we sit down all the time and they start asking me questions that are like not related to nutrition and exercise. I'm like, look, man, that's I can't tell you what to do with that. I was like, that's something you got to figure out what to do. I was like, my job, that's out of my scope. And I was like, that's not what you're asking me to do. But what I can do is I can tell you, okay, maybe you need to stop eating this bread and maybe you need to go move more. But I'm not going to tell you, well, maybe you need to chill out on your business so that you can catch more sleep. Yeah, would sleep be good? But guess what? It's not my money. So
That's the truth, man. And then it's not gonna go away. People are always gonna do it. It's kind of human nature. We collect information, we digest, process it, filter, and throw back out what we think. It's just how the world kind of goes around. And so we talk about this a lot on this podcast. What we can all do is be more mindful. Truthfully, that is the move of the future. Is be more mindful of the people you're around, the people you care about, the people whose opinion does matter, the people whose opinion that doesn't. Just be more mindful. Just be more mindful about what you say, and realize when someone tells you what they think, that they feel they have the urge to, that probably there's a sliver there. There's somewhere that they're trying to help. So don't worry. Don't let it get under your skin. Keep doing what you're doing. It's Monday, y'all. It's a new week. It's grind time. It's always grind time.
grind now so you don't have to later, as cliche as it sounds.
So it's some truth. It's some truth.
But we all have different visions for where we want to go, what we want to do. The only thing we ask is that you're clear on what yours is and go make it happen.
Yep. For you. Do it for you.
Peace out, y'all. Thanks for listening to Iron Breed Podcast.